Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about a story in the Nation newspaper about Tinubu's judgment about the whole issue going on in the country, especially the issue of perhaps Nigeria should break up or not. You know, the whole separatist movement and all of that, both in the southwest and in the southeast, because there's almost no separatist movement if you are really going to be serious about it in the north. And I'm going to be getting back to that. The reason why there isn't all that much of a strong will in the north for the north to say, okay, they want to leave Nigeria too. So I'm going to be touching that really soon. But let's go into the issue. Now, according to the article, Tinubu says that Nigeria is better together. Nigeria will only survive, now quoting him, Nigeria will only survive its current tribulations if political leaders and citizens collectively seek repentance for their misdeeds, injustice, and failed promises. Is that not just sounding like somebody that is dreaming? Like, honestly, that sounds like somebody dreaming to me. That's basically the way I see it. Just a bunch of platitudes. Now, I understand where this is coming from, and let anybody not pretend that this man is just saying this because of just how much he loves the country and all of that. Come on, we have a whole lot of crappy leaders in this country. He's just one of those guys. Like, he's exactly as crappy as all those crazy people in power. Every one of our leaders are crazy. They are all crazy. That's the kind of situation we have here. We're talking about democracy. We have demo crazy people here. Like, that's the situation we have in our government here. So it's very obvious. So he's basically one of them, and all what he's just saying is because of his ambition for 2023. That's basically what it is. And one of the reasons why he's saying that is because he's trying to get in the good graces of the northerners. Because the fact is, whether we like it or not, the northerners are more than us. We cannot deny that. I know most people in the south try to say that, yes, we have more people in the south and all of that. That's not true. I'm just deceiving ourselves. Yes, you may say that maybe there are some frauds in the north during elections, maybe they're counting cattle and all of that. Whether that's true or not, they have a lot more people than us. You cannot say anything about it. That's just the fact. Now, I'm going to be giving you an example. You have to consider the fact that in the south, an average family in the south gives birth to maybe 2, 3, 4 at most. I'm talking about an average. There are some that are going to go over that, but an average 4 children at most. In the north, a family generally tends to give birth to a lot of children. Tens, maybe 20-something children, just one malam. Just one malam. Now consider that, how many married families there are. And that this very man has multiple wives too. Not so common in the south. In the north, you have so many wives and they give birth all the time. All the Hajias, they give it all the time. So you cannot compare the rate at which they reproduce over there to the way we reproduce over here. It's not the same. So they have a whole lot more people than us when it gets to that. So that's just one thing we need to understand. And that is the reason why they have a lot of political power as far as this country is concerned. If the North is not going to support a candidate, it is very difficult for the candidate to win an election in the general elections in Nigeria. Especially, just take note of this, especially if his person is a southerner. So if you're a southerner, it's very difficult for you to win an election if the North is not in support of you. That's basically the way it is. It's very difficult. Even if the election is on the up and up, that is, there's no issue along the way, there are not improprieties in the election, there are not irregularities, there are no frauds, nothing like that. Even if everything is very clean, if the North is not in support of a particular candidate, that person cannot win in this country because they really outnumber us. That's just the fact. And that's the reason why Tinubu, a southern man, is trying to play it safe, because he knows that the people, or at least the demographic of people who are more interested in the oneness of Nigeria, are the northerners. I mean, if you really consider it, back in the Civil War, who are the ones who really didn't want the country to break up? Now, I'm not advocating the breakup of the country. Even I don't want the country to break up. That's very funny. I don't want the country to break up because I have many reasons for that. I'm going to be stating them again very shortly. But I'm saying the reason why Tinubu is saying all of this is because of his ambition for 2023. It's very obvious. Anyone that has eyes can see it. It's very clear. That's just basically the way it is. So he condemns any calls for civil war, which is true. Yeah, like we should not want to have a civil war again. Millions of lives were wasted in the first civil war, 67 to 1970. That's 1967 to 1970. How many years after independence? Just 7 years after independence, we fell into serious civil war. That's the issue. And I understand a lot of people are like, this project called Nigeria cannot work. Why don't we just go our separate ways? That's what a lot of people are saying. I understand that. But the fact is, you have to realize that it is very difficult. And that's why I'm saying that Tinubu is basically maybe dreaming of pie in the sky, kind of utopia that doesn't really exist. Because if you say that a lot of people are like, this country isn't safe enough for us to remain together, especially people in the East. The people in the Southwest here too are complaining that we're having a lot of influxes of people from outside Nigeria. Fulani is coming into the country, not only coming into the country, almost as if they are occupying the southern part of Nigeria. That what is happening, we are feeling almost like we are an occupied territory. That's why people are complaining that, okay, before things get out of hand, maybe we should just go our separate ways. That's basically the way it is. We don't want to be a conquered people in our lands, because these lands go way beyond the establishment of Nigeria. Like, it goes way back centuries, maybe even millennia before the establishment of the country called Nigeria. So how should we lose our lands because we are trying to keep a country that was established in just about 60-something years ago? That's exactly what they're talking about. And they do have a point. We cannot deny the fact that they have a point. That's the fact. But again, I don't want a war for the country, because war is absolute suffering. Like, war is absolute suffering. It's just like opening a Pandora's box. You don't know what you're going to meet inside. Even the person starting the war on one side or the other might not survive it. So, and it's not even about the people starting it. It's also about the human suffering that are attached. Millions of people were starved to death during the first civil war. It was horrible. It was hell on earth. No one ever wishes for that to happen again. I mean, even a lot of biological changes, negative biological changes happened to those in the East after the war because of the malnutrition and all of that in the offsprings. So it's not something that can be trivialized. War is evil. It is horrible. It is very, very horrible. So I'm not advocating for war in this country for whatever reason. But there's just one tiny thing that is very difficult for anybody to avoid. And that is, if people really want to secede, that is, leave the project called Nigeria, let's say the West wants to leave or the East wants to leave, it is basically impossible for you not to have a war inside it. Now, I'm going to be giving you an example. The American Civil War, for those who are aware, 1861 to 1865, that is America. America. What caused it? The southern part, they said that the southern states said that they were going to leave, that they want to continue slavery, and the North is encroaching on their rights to be able to have slaves, that is black slaves, that they want to leave. And in a country that we consider free in the United States, they decided to prevent the breakup of their country. So let's even forget about the issue of whether maybe Northerners are going to allow or not, or maybe they have a vested interest in keeping Nigeria together or not. What I'm trying to say is that no country and no leader in charge will ever allow his country to break up without doing anything about it. So there's no way you are not going to have military forces trying to prevent that. That's basically the way it is. I just gave you an example of the freest country in the world, the United States of America. Despite being a free state, they would not stand for a breakup of their nation. So that's basically what it is. So anybody calling, that's what we really need to put into context here, and we really need to understand. Anybody calling for a breakup of Nigeria is inadvertently calling for war. Whether you like it or not, I know you are not asking for war, but that is what will happen if any side tries to pull out. Because that's basically what it's going to do, because the central power will try to prevent that. And that is going to lead to a civil war. So in that way, I can actually see the point that Tinubu is making. And Nigeria is better together. But what I'm trying to say is that it's all BS, because the main reason why he's saying that is because he is trying to be the president of that nation in 2023. So if the nation you're trying to be the president over breaks up, like that is just like blowing up your ambition. So it is not out of the good graces of his heart or out of the goodness of his heart that he's coming up with all of those things, as far as I'm concerned, because all these leaders we have in this nation, they do not, as far as I'm concerned, have the best of Nigeria at heart. They are mostly egomaniacs looking for their own interest. That's the way I see it. Now, I could be wrong, but that's basically the way I see it. And that's what I'm saying. Check Sudan. When Southern Sudan wanted to pull out of Sudan, you get a war. So it's a very tricky thing. And I'm saying this because everyone that is protesting and asking for a dissolution of the Union of Nigeria should always have that behind their minds, that is what is going to happen. And now I'm going to go over to the reason why the North will never allow a peaceful breakup of Nigeria. And it's very easy. It is very, very easy. It played out during the Civil War, the actual Civil War we had, and now, if anybody should try to do that, it's going to play out again, because this is the reason. The North will become landlocked. That is, they will not have access to the sea. Do you know how much prosperity there is to being able to carry out sea trade? That is, being able to have ships trading between different countries and all of that. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of prosperity. So it's not even about the petroleum and the crude oil. It's part of it, because that's the second one. The crude oil is in the southern part. So they will never allow the South to break up. It will never happen. I mean, have you ever noticed that you hardly find a northerner being in support of the breakup of Nigeria? I'm talking about the general northerner, like maybe you just meet a Hausa man, a Fulani man, or some of the other tribes are in the north, because there are other tribes in the north also. Now, they will never support a breakup of Nigeria, because they know that it is going to affect them economically. It's going to affect their ability to trade with other nations, because they will lose a seaport. They will become landlocked, which means if they want to move things through our own port, that is the port of the whatever country you now have in the south or countries you have in the south, they have to pay duties to those countries in order to move their goods through those countries. That's basically what you have in Chad. Chad is landlocked, as far as I'm concerned. So that's what happens. So they will never allow that to happen, because it is going to wreck their economies in the north. It will wreck their economies. They don't want that to happen. So that's the reason. But the only thing there now is that, sadly enough, Nigeria is actually creeping towards the breakup if things don't change. The insecurity is just not bearable. Consider the whole issue about Sunday Igboho and all those things. Like, it is very, very unbearable. It is very unbearable. And we are just expected to keep quiet and take it. How are the Southerners supposed to just keep quiet and take it? We feel like we are being invaded. That's the way it is. You may say it is incendiary for someone to say that, but that's the fact. That's the way we feel here. And you need to do something about it to correct it. If not, you are going to get more radical people coming up and starting crazy things without even thinking about it. You're going to get a lot more radical people in your hands if that's what you want to do, if you are not going to fix this issue. That's the situation. That's what is destabilizing this country. We need to fix those issues and make the people who want to live to feel at home within this country. If you don't do that, whether you like it or not, at a certain point, you're going to have people who are going to feel like, yes, when you want to get your rights, sometimes it is necessary to even lose blood, even lose your life to achieve freedom. That it is better to die than to live in slavery. That is exactly what you're going to get if you push people to a particular extent. This is what you're going to get with the Biafrans. That's what you're going to get with the Yoruba Republic if you don't solve this issue. Again, I'm not in support of breaking up the country, but you need to fix it. You don't want the country to break, you don't want the country to break up, and you're not fixing it. Okay. Anyway, again, war is horrible. We really pray we don't fall into that, but we are really, really on a trajectory for that if things don't change. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody. I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, send to your friends. If it's on Facebook, please like and comment, and follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. It's Naija Unsealed on all platforms. Thank you.